Put on the headphones. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me, you know I gotta put in these sign-in sheets and all these other things I do. Bear with me 1 sec. Alright, bear with me a little longer. Get this share on. Alright. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabarakatha to my brothers. Yahweh Shema Latha Hashem Yahweh Shah to my sisters. This is the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Black, Hispanic, and Native people that they are the Most High's true and only chosen people. And being that comes with a set of responsibilities that should not be taken as a joke. These set of responsibilities is what builds a community, it what protects each other, it what shows us that we truly love each other. And these set of responsibilities, these laws and these rules that we're supposed to live by, is the only thing and the only solution to every black problem we have today. You name it, these law, statutes, and commandments that is written in the scriptures is the only solution we have. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe me, We're going to get into it today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk all about it today. Get into it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. What do people complain about? What problems do we have? We have homosexuality. People claim that's a problem. And guess what? There's a solution to that. We got black on black crime. Guess what? There's a solution to that. We have, you know what I'm saying, bad parenting on both sides. Absent fathers, absent mothers, neglectful fathers, neglectful mothers. We got that. We got the solution to all that. We got the solution to promiscuity. We got the solution to adultery. We got the solution to every black problem you see today. Even when it comes to loving and taking part of the customs of our enemies. We got the solutions to that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give y'all a second to get y'all questions on. If you got a question, type them on in. You know what I'm saying? All questions will be answered with no hesitation. All questions will be answered. If you got a question, type them on in. But just remember, you know what I'm saying, this school was built off the whole foundation of black and Hispanic and Native people loving each other. You know what I'm saying? It was built on brotherhood. That's what this whole foundation is about. And I'm going to keep it real milky for y'all today. About as milky as I can get. So if you're a young man in school, or a trooper, or a sister, have your notepad and pen ready, because these are some of the fundamental building blocks of this school. It's even beyond that. It's a fundamental building block of nations. It's a building block of nations. Even our enemies took these building blocks and built this country that we call America. But it's not in them to rule righteously. It's not in them. It's not in anybody but us to rule righteously. Even in our oppression, we still are the most loving and compassionate people on the planet. We still want to forgive and love everybody on the planet. You know what I'm saying? While everybody, no matter what power they in, they want to hate us. So if you're able to love people when you're down on the bottom, you are able to love people and treat them better when you're on the top. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, see the way that our oppressor, our enemy treats us now. Imagine how he would treat us if he was on the bottom. Imagine his opinion on us if we was on the bottom. I'm telling you, he will walk through the farm kicking every watermelon, probably murdering every chicken he possibly can. Because they're hateful people. They are hateful people. Every last one of them. So you thinking that you're going to get answers by loving and following them? Well, guess what? History has proven, because we have tried it, history has proven that will not work. The answers to every black issue is loving one another. And that is only done in the Isupk under Commander General Yohana. Plain and simple. Well, since y'all don't got no questions, I guess y'all know everything in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I guess y'all know everything. Well, let's get to 1 John 4. We're gonna keep it real New Testament today. Oops. 1 John 4 and 20. Alright, let me type that in for y'all. Any questions, type them on in. First John 4 and 20, New Testament. If you're there, follow along with me. Alright? turn down this mic a bit. Let me know if the sound is clearer or if it's too loud. 1, 2. Alright. First John 4:20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, now let me tell you something. Everybody believes they love God. Everybody claims they believe in a higher power. You know what I'm saying? Even the worst killers walk around with crosses on their necks, and the biggest drug dealers walk around with crosses on their neck or little kufis on top of their heads. Everybody claims they love God, right? But as Black, Hispanics, and Native people, we are showing every day we hate our brother. Let me put it down to you like this. While y'all was celebrating y'all masters' independence, while y'all was celebrating your enemies' independence, right? Wearing y'all red, white, and blue, you know what I'm saying? Waving y'all little flags. What have happened across this country? In every urban area, what happened? Y'all got your fireworks popping. Y'all spend all your money on fireworks and hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't know what y'all blacking out yesterday for. But what happened over the weekend during the 4th? What happened? I mean, we've been spending the past 3 months talking about Black Lives Matter, and what happened? We started killing each other. We started slaughtering each other. Now I understand there's crime, there's personal vendettas, there's a bunch of emotion on the line, boo-hoo. But at the same time, there's a time and a place for everything. If you got an issue with your brother, we're going to get to that too. If you got an issue with another man, you go to him. You talk to him. But that just getting emotional and want to shoot them up, and you end up shooting up 3 innocent people. I mean, how many little kids were killed over this weekend? Everybody under 10 years old. How many? We had one in Boston. A little girl, a little princess, shot, killed over some emotional BS. Because these cats that claim they're hard can't control their emotions. Can't get their minds right. Can't get everything together. You know what I'm saying? And all this is done, I'm guaranteeing you, everything that was done over this weekend is due to you celebrating your master's independence. If you wasn't doing that, you wouldn't have been outside, you wouldn't have gotten in the situation you were in. And not just that, it's the drive of the assailants, of the people, or the perpetrators, to live that American dream. That American dream, that drive to have that house with the white picket fence, that drive to keep up with the Smiths and whoever else, that drive is what makes us murder each other. As if we have it. You will murder 1 million black men that have $5 in their pocket to get $5 million instead of, you know what I'm saying, following the laws of the Most High. You ain't gonna harm no Caucasian, period. You're not built like that. You're not gonna harm them, period, no matter how much money they got. They are massa. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to it. If a man say, I love God, every man says, I love it. Every man says he loves God. Your Christian pastor says he loves God. And he's sleeping with your woman right now. Terry Crews says he loves God. And he let another man fondle him, but he wants to blame black people for all the problems in the world. You know what I'm saying? If you say you love God and you hate your brother, guess what? Guess what? We're going to continue. We're going to continue. He is a liar. That man is a liar. You know what I'm saying? That man is a liar. How you gonna love God and hate your brother? How you gonna love God and sleep with another man's woman? How you gonna love God and sell drugs to the next man, next man's woman, next man's mother, your own mother? If you truly love God, how you gonna do any offense to one another? How? What you don't understand is loving God and loving your brother is one and the same. It's one and the same. You can't love God and hate your brother. It's impossible. You can't love God and sell drugs. You can't love God and shoot another black Hispanic man. You can't love God and sleep with another man's woman. You can't love God and be a homosexual. You can't love God and break any of his laws, because that is not love. It's not love. It's an offense. It's hatred. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question. How can you hate your brother whom you have seen? You see this brother. You know what he goes through. It's not too far different from what you go through. It's not too far off from what you go through. You know what I'm saying? His woman got him on child support just like your woman got you on child support. Now both of y'all can't get your license because your job refuses to actually take the payments out of your check. It's not even your fault, but you're going to go down for it. You will go down for it. You know what I'm saying? So, how you going to hate him when he's getting shot at like the next man? He's strung out just like you are. He a junkie just like you, smoking all types of weed. Can't even wake up properly without weed. You know what I'm saying? So, how you going to hate that man and you know his pain and claim you love God? You don't know nothing about God. You don't know nothing. Especially if you're hating your brother, you know absolutely nothing. Plain and simple. What do you know? Nothing. A lot of y'all can't understand how God does not love everybody. Y'all can't understand how God hates. So how are you going to say you love God and hate your brother? It makes no sense. Because the truth is you don't love God. And the problem with it is the Christian church got you believing that you can have your own personal relationship with God, and you absolutely cannot. There is no personal relationship with God. There is no personal relationship with Yahweh, who you ignorantly call Jesus. There's no personal relationships. The Most High is not a man pleaser. Christ ain't a man pleaser. No. If you're a man saying you have a personal relationship with either, you are a bona fide homosexual. You are certified a man with a rod in his mouth, because the simple fact is you do not have no personal relationship. God is a man. Christ is a man. They don't have personal relationships with men. They have relationships with men. And all those relationships with those brothers and sisters tinge on one rule, and that's follow the law, statutes, and commandments. If you're not following the law, statutes, and commandments, you don't know God, you don't understand them, none of that. None of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand none of that. So the simple fact that Christian church is the reason why we're killing each other. Christian church is why we're celebrating holidays that is not for us. It's all on the Christian church because they allow it. They tell you that the law is done away with. They tell you that you could love whoever you want. Love is love. They tell you God is going to love you no matter what you do. And they can't prove nothing that they say through the scriptures. But they got you believing it though. They definitely got you believing it though. But let's continue in John 4:20. How can he love God whom he have not seen? How can you love God whom you have not seen? You haven't seen God. But let's continue. And this commandment we have from him, That he who loveth God, love his brother also. It's the bottom line of it all. That is the answer to every problem in every black community, every barrio, every reservation. That is the solution. Loving each other as this law dictates us to love each other. Believe me, love is not an emotion. Love is an action. Love is a duty. Love is, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? It's a job. It's not lip service. You can't say you love somebody just by saying I love you. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. Not one bit. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Lip service is nothing but a problem. It has all of us believing that we could actually, you know what I'm saying, have us believe that we could actually love each other in such a manner. You know what I'm saying? Just by lip service, just by saying I love you. Women can't go a day without having somebody say I love you. It's an emotional thing. It's irrational. You know what I'm saying? Got you thinking love is unconditional, and it's not. That's a feminine attribute. No, love is a job. It is literally a job. Get on your job. Take care of each other. Nurture each other. Teach each other. Counsel each other. That's what love is. Show each other these law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? What's like? Let's get into it. Let's get further into it. Let's get Matthew 25. Let me type that up in here. And 40. Give y'all some time to catch up. Give y'all a couple more seconds to catch up. We're going to Matthew 25 and 40. Alright. If you're there, read along with me. Alright. Matthew chapter 25 verse 40. Let me remind you, if you got any questions, type them on in. Just type them right on in. Matthew chapter 25 verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it to me. What is that saying? Now these are Christ's words. This is like the epitome of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about it. What you have done to the least of me, like Christ rolled deep. You know what I'm saying? Christ had 12 brothers, 12 disciples. Those disciples had disciples. You know what I'm saying? And those under them had people under them. It was literally an army. Now the least of those disciples, whatever you've done to the least of them, you have done it unto Christ. Literally, you have done it unto Christ. That's what he's saying. That comes with the whole mind state of all for one, one for all. You know what I'm saying? That comes with the mind state of you know what I'm saying, why brothers jump other people. You heard one of us, we all gonna go in. That's the mind state behind it. That's what being one body is. That is literally what being one body is. Being one body is being that. Trying to Being one body is trying to simply move together in a unison. Move together in a unison. That's what being one body is. Moving together as one. So if you offend one, you offend the whole body. That's why black people are the way they are. Like, you want to talk about black on black crime, that's why we do what we do. It is our culture of when you offend one of us, the least of us, you offend all of us. That's what that is about. You know what I'm saying? So how can you love God when you're offending your own brother? And by offending your own brother, by offending the least of these, you are literally offending our King. There should be no offenses amongst Israel. There should be no beefs, no hatred, none of that. You know what I'm saying? When you offend one of us, you offend us all. Even if you're one of us. It's what we got councils about. So we can see where the offense is coming from. Who started it? Because that person that started it offended the whole body. And now we got this confusion in the body. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. So we're going to start that from the top again. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you. Now these are Christ's words. Christ is telling them. He said, verily I say unto you. And as much as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren. Now these are his brothers. These are his brethren. Nah, they're not. No, one of them was brothers by blood, but not all of them. But they're all his brothers. It's called being one body, one spirit, one mind. You know what I'm saying? Ye have done it unto me. And that's why we are out there protesting. That's why we are out there marching, begging our enemy for consideration of our lives. Because the whole body is offended because they killed one of our brothers. So all of us is offended. It's cultural. It is cultural. Literally cultural. That's why when one dude talk trash to another dude in a club, he ends up getting jumped because it's cultural. You offend one of us, you offend the whole body. You offend the whole crew. You offend the whole nation. You offend the whole priesthood. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's go to John 13 and 34. Regular John, no 1 or 2 in front of it. Now, what people seem to not understand, that this is a black book. Everything about these scriptures just proves that the Israelites are black. From the mannerisms to the behavior to the lingo, you know what I'm saying? Everything is black. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into it. I'm going to give y'all some time to catch up. Alright? Y'all should be there by now. Alright? John 13 and 34. You there? Follow along with me if you are. A new commandment I give unto you. Why is he saying there's a new commandment? See, this is a controversy in all of Israel. They like to say Christ was making up laws and making up new laws and new rules and stuff, which he has not done. He has not done it. But what Christ was saying and what he was doing right here, it's not a new commandment. It's more of a new understanding. It's more because the simple fact is we wasn't following it from the beginning. This commandment is not new. Loving each other is not new. Matter of fact, let me get into it before I just give it all away. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. This is nothing new. Loving each other is not a new commandment, but it's something that wasn't followed from the giddy up, and the understanding of it wasn't followed. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know how to love each other properly. We just followed the law. If when we broke it, we gave our sacrifices as if that's what the Lord wanted. The Lord never wanted our sacrifices. He just wanted us to follow his law, statutes, commandments. He didn't care about our sacrifices. All he wanted us to love each other and follow his law, statutes, and commandments. Those sacrifices didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we are supposed to love each other as Christ has loved us. How has Christ loved us? That's what you must ask yourself. How has Christ loved us? Do you even know how Christ loved us? Do you know what Christ sacrificed? Do you know how he displayed his love? What do you know? How has Christ loved us? Let's see who knows that. I'm going to give y'all a second. If you know how Christ has loved us, type it on in. Let's see if you know. Alright. Give y'all a couple more seconds. How has Christ loved the body? How has Christ loved his brothers? What did Christ do to prove his love for his brothers? Well, due to the sake of time, that was about 30 seconds, I believe. I didn't count, but I believe that was about 30 seconds. Due to the sake of time, let me explain how Christ loved his people and his brothers and his sisters. Let me explain. Let's keep it simple real quick. Something easily understandable. He taught us. Christ taught us our nationality, because we was walking around acting as if we were Romans, acting as if we were Greeks, acting as if we were Corinthians and so forth and so on. We was acting like we was other nations. Khan says he died. Exactly. I was gonna get to it. But that's exactly where it went. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it there first. He taught us. He taught us. That's how you do it. He guided us. He counseled us. He showed us how to be a nation. He showed us how to love each other. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what else. He died. He died for us. Like the sister brought out, Christ died for us. He ain't commit no sin. He wasn't the one that deserved to be up there. He was so brotherly. He said, look, I know you might be too weak to stop smoking weed right now. So let me put my life on the line and give you a little more time to stop smoking weed. How powerful is that? How heavy is that? This brother is stop smoking weed so you can get some more time to stop smoking weed. So you could stop sleeping with another man's woman. So you could stop being a homosexual. So you could stop selling and doing drugs. So you could stop just being the violent, ratchet, loudmouth woman you are. So you could stop being the weak brother that you are. Christ is giving us time. Time. Stop being a bunch of money hungry, wanna be white people type of people we were. Because that's what we were. Oh man, boy, did we want to be our oppressor. Stockholm Syndrome is a very serious thing in this community. It's a very serious thing. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. You know what I'm saying? And a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also want to love one another. So the things that Christ has sacrificed for us, we got to sacrifice for each other, which is something we don't do in the black community. In the black, Hispanic, and Native community, we are very selfish. We're about as selfish as it gets. A lot of y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. How are we selfish? Let me explain how you're selfish. Everything is about $1 here. Everything is about getting that bag. Everything is about getting that money. Everything is about your self-pleasure and all your lusts and desires. It's so much about your lusts and desires, you don't even understand how it's wrong. You're just trying to live your best life, YOLO. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand how it's destroying your people. Like once upon a time, you know what I'm saying? Let's say back in as early as the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? Black and Hispanic people were living amongst each other like in one apartment or in a house, like 2 or 3 generations deep. But now we clown each other if a brother don't have his own apartment at 20. I'm gonna tell you, nobody's ready to live by themselves at 20. You're not. You're gonna lose that first apartment. You're gonna mess up your credit and everything else. Easy. Easy. But back in the day when we was living about 3 or 4 generations in the house, Big Mama in the back chilling, making biscuits every Sunday morning, because she a Christian, she wouldn't do it every day. But when she did it, we enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? That gave us funds to build a nation. Like we're like, got 10 adults in one household. Imagine if you got 10 adults in your current household right now. 10 adults, right? To pay that rent that you're paying at, what, about $1,800? 10 adults paying that $1,800 rent. That's $180 a adult. $180 an adult. Imagine what you can do with the rest of the check. Y'all could actually start a business as a family. And then y'all can start working for massa, and we will be building a nation. But no, we don't love each other like Christ loved us. We're not willing to sacrifice. We're not willing to endure to the end. We want to chase and be like our oppressor, trying to be like him. And being like him is what gets us damaged and messed up. Trying to be like him and live his lifestyle is what has us hating each other. And people don't understand that. You know, when people say you can't scream Black Lives Matter and have a Caucasian spouse, that's true. Because you do have your spouse's interest in your mind. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. You know what I'm saying? Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. That's how you know you are followers of Christ. That's how you know you are that one body. That's how you know that you are that one, that you are the home of the truth. It's by that brotherhood, which we lack in the Black, Hispanic, and Native community. But guess where that brotherhood lives? Guess where it lives? It lives in the Isupk. We are the home of the truth. Guess what? There's no dissension here. There's no brother hating another brother over some videos, or over tribalism, or over whatever BS. You know what I'm saying? Over here, we have a council. We have ways to get around that. We have ways to work through that. Everywhere else, nah, y'all do it for the views. Y'all do it for the views. Y'all want the numbers. Y'all want to be the biggest thing on the block. But guess what? You can be the biggest thing on the block all you want. Still can't beat us. You still can't beat us. Because the Lord is with us. And this is where brotherhood lives. And that's why we need the Lord with our people. That's why we need our people to understand what brotherhood is. That's why we need our people to stop doing the things they're doing to each other. Because once our people stop doing what they're doing to each other, then we might have a chance to get out of this hell we in. Being on the bottom of every social system. How many nations could say they don't even have land? How many nations can say they don't have a military? They don't have a language. They don't have a currency. They don't have this, they don't have that. They have nothing. That's how you know you're a slave. Because you don't have none of those things that is beneficial to a nation. All you have is chasing your enemy's dream and being a part of your enemy's nation. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get Matthew 5:22. This is highly important. Alright, I typed it up in there. If you're in there, let's get it. Slocky, bear with me 1 sec. I'm trying to see if I should go higher. I should go higher. This whole break, I ain't gonna do it. That's a long break. It's a lot. But I urge y'all, I sincerely urge y'all to read Matthew 5. It's a powerful chapter. You know what I'm saying? It shows you what loving each other really is. You know what I'm saying? How to deal with certain things amongst each other. See, that's the beautiful thing about these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to stay on that note that I pulled up. Matthew 5:25. You know what I'm saying? But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. Like, understand that. If you are angry with your brother without a cause, that means that you have absolutely no reason to be angry. I mean, think about it. There's some reasons out there that makes you understand why you do what you do, but it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. Let's say, for example, you're a man, you living happily with your family, and your homeboy ends up sleeping with your woman. You know what I'm saying? There's a mutual thing. He ain't rape her. She cheats on you. I know emotionally you're going to want to kill him. Probably her too. You're going to want to do all that, right? You're going to want to put in some work, right? But let me tell you something. It's not the way it's supposed to be done. It's not the way it's supposed to be done. Know why? Because you killing him when the Most High is the one that should be offended. Remember, the Most High put you and her together. If whatever he has done to split y'all apart, he has offended the Most High. Now, Pete, you kill him, right? Now his family's gonna want revenge. Now we got a tiff and a tit for tat situation going on. You know what I'm saying? When you should be a little bit more rejoiceful that he probably took a headache from you. She was going to do something to you anyway. You know what I'm saying? If she wasn't going to cheat on you, she probably would have killed you. Probably would have hit you across the head over with a frying pan, thrown some hot grits on you or some other madness. That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? There's no good cause to be angry with your brother to the point to take his life. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you can't go to him and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro, you offended me, blah, blah, blah. Remember, If it's that bad, definitely seek counsel. If it's messing with your mind that much, go to a brother who knows a little bit more than both of y'all. Try to have him mediate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. Salakia. Whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. Now, what's the judgment? The judgment is the wrath of the Most High. And however he chooses to lash out his judgment, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? That's on him. You know what I'm saying? He could seduce you with money, and next thing you know, you're getting robbed and shot up. The way the Most High works is not of our thinking. We will never understand it. Never understand it. You think because you're smoking you ain't died of cancer, it wasn't because of the smoking? It could be. It could be because of the smoking. It could be because of any other sin you committed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may have been. But at the end of the day, we can't be treating each other in an ill-found manner with no reason. We can't be taking out whatever problems we have on each other for no reason. You need a cause. And guess what? How do you know that cause is expounded? Other people know that cause. Other people know that cause. A counsel has been put forth. That's the only way you have a just cause, is because everybody knows it's just. Everybody knows it. That means a judgment has been made on your cause. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the counsel. Now, saying Rakah, that's a translation of saying he's worthless. You know what I'm saying? Not one black, like, come on, Christ, I mean, the Most High said he could use a rock to do what we do. He could use a rock to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So how you going to call your brother worthless when you trying to say that rock got more value than him? You don't know. The thing is, you don't know that brother's worth. The Most High does. You don't know nothing. You don't know a thing. How you going to say he's worthless when the Most High could use a rock to raise this nation up? So you know if you could use a rock to raise this nation up, that brother that you're calling worthless for no good reason at all, he could raise this nation up too. And that's our problem. We look down on each other and look up to our enemies. That's our problem as a people. We look down on each other, and we should not be looking down on each other. Why are we looking down on each other? Because we picked up the standards of our enemies. The only reason why we look down on each other is because we picked up their standard. What is their standard? Let's think about it. Money. If you ain't got money, you ain't nothing. If you ain't got fame, you ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's their standard. But their standard is all messed up. Look at their standards. You got to look a certain way. You got a beard, or rough hair. You know what I'm saying? You're not righteous. You're not a man of God. You need a suit. You need to be clean cut. You need to be this and be that to be a certain whatever. And none of that's in the scriptures. The problem is we picked up their standard. We picked up their quality of life and chose it as our customs and our way of living. And that's destroying us. That's why we hate each other. But let's continue. Where was I at? Yeah, shall be in danger of the counsel. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Now, if you call your brother a fool, what's the hellfire? I know a lot of people don't understand what the hellfire is. A lot of people not sure what the hellfire is. The hellfire is straight up and down. Wrath. The wrath. It's going to, basically what we as Black, Hispanic, and Native people are going through right now. It's hellfire. We are in hell right now. And imagine us in power and you still going through that. Imagine Black, Hispanic, and Native people in power and you still going through the same things you're going through now. Why? How would that make you feel? That would be hell on top of hell. That's what poor white trash, I guess, might be going through. Because you called your brother worthless. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Actually, nah, that's it on that. Let's sit on that. Well, hold on. Actually, I think I do want to go up a bit. I do want to go up a bit. Nah, I could chill on that. I could chill on that. I don't know. I love Matthew 5 is one of my favorite chapters. But let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 6:31. Give you some time to get there. If you're there, read along with me. Luke 6:31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. What is that saying? If you know what that's saying, type it on there. If you know what that is saying right there, type it on there. This is a very old saying. You could simplify it. Just remember what your grandmama told you. Let's see if you know what that's saying. Give you a couple more seconds. It's an old saying. It's an old time saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read it again. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to say, what you say? Exactly. Do unto them as they do unto you. Exactly. It says, treat others as you want to be treated. Your mother told you this. Your father told you this. Your grandma, your grandpa told you this. It is a simple truth in life. It's a simple rule that can maintain this brotherhood very simply. Treat them as you would want to be treated. Do to them as you want done unto you. You know what I'm saying? You down and out. You would like somebody to hook you up with $5, help you get through the day. How you look telling somebody knowing that you got money? How you look telling them that you broke when they need money? That's selfish. How you look sleeping with another man's woman when you don't want nobody sleeping with your woman? That's selfish. You know what I'm saying? How is that? How would you look touching another person's child when you don't want nobody touching your child? Matter of fact, why would you touch children when you didn't want to be touched as a child? Only reason why you're touching children now is because you were touched as a child. Do you remember how that felt? Do you remember the hell you went through? And you want to put another child through that same hell? Explain to me. What sense does that make? You would rather destroy another child than just restrain your lusts and desires. to control your emotions. That's why we got so many homosexuals, whether they want to admit it or not, because the simple fact is they have been sexually molested. And you want to treat people like that. It's madness. You know what I'm saying? So it's a simple truth. It's a classic. It's one of the things that is detrimental on our survival as a nation. As a nation, if we start treating each other in ill ways and then get mad when somebody else does the same thing to us, it causes confusion. How you don't expect things to get done to you if you did it? You know what I'm saying? If you did it, like for example, you sleep with another man's woman, how you gonna get mad when another man sleeps your woman? How you gonna get mad about it? Because you for sure is gonna get mad. Every Christian pastor does it. Every Christian pastor sleeping with another man's woman or touching another person's child, committing all types of madness. That's what they do in the Christian church. That's why the Christian church is so messed up as it is today. That's why we are so destroyed as the people for following the Christian church. But in the ISUPK, that does not go down. It doesn't go down like that. Not at all. Not at all. Not one bit. You know what I'm saying? Not one bit. So, I'm going to read it again. You know what I'm saying? One more time. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. I'm going to continue. For if ye love them which love you, what think have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. You get what that's saying? You understand what that's saying? Let me explain what it's saying. There's no point in how can I put it? There's absolutely no point in just forgiving those who did you no wrong. Just forgiving those that love you. You got to show those that same amount of love to those who have offended you. You got to give them that same type of kindness. You got to show them that same patience. You know what I'm saying? If he did you wrong, seek that counsel, go through the proper channels and get it done right. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't benefit you to just love those who love you. That brother that did you dirty, show him a little forgiveness. Show him a little kindness. I typed it in the comment section. Let's get back there. This is regular John, no 1 or 2 in front of it. Give you a couple more seconds to get there. Alright. John 15, verse 12. If you there, follow along with me. John 15 and 12. This is my commandment. Why is Christ saying it's his commandment? Is Christ actually giving he giving something that the Father has not done? Is he creating something new? Why is he saying, this is my commandment? It's similar to what I read earlier. It's very similar to what I read earlier. He's not giving a new commandment. He's saying, this is my commandment. What's the difference? Why is he saying these things? He's saying it's not new. He's saying it because we wasn't doing it anyway. We wasn't loving each other. We wasn't taking care of each other, even back then, and we're definitely not doing it now. But let's get to it. Let's continue before I go too far ahead of myself. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Like we went into that. How has Christ loved us? He sacrificed himself. He taught us. He counseled us. You know what I'm saying? He nurtured us. You know what I'm saying? That's how Christ loved us. Anybody's willing to give his life, which is what every man should be willing to do for his woman, is give his life for her. Guess what? That man is also willing to do that for his brothers, because that's what brotherhood's about. That's what brotherhood is about. But hold on, let's get with it. Greater love have no man than this. There's no greater love than this. Remember what Christ has done. And it's going to tell you there's no greater love than this. You know what I'm saying? That a man lay down his life for his friend. There's not one black, Hispanic, and Native brother and sister out there that's willing to give their life for their friends. Is willing to stop their lusts and desires and take care of their brother or sister, make sure that they're right. And like, don't get me wrong, this giving your life is twofold. It's not just physical life that it's talking about. It's talking about the way of life you're living too. Us in the Isupk, we gave up our life. And we're willing to give up this life too. The life that we gave up before we stopped celebrating holidays. We stopped sinning, stopped doing all this. We gave up our life. You know what I'm saying? The things that we love to do. All the wickedness that we gave up, we gave that up. We gave our life. And guess what? We're willing to give this life that we're living now in all righteousness to protect our brothers and sisters, to protect our nation. That's what we're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for people to understand that. It's hard for people to understand that's love. Christ showed us that love. You know why? Because it's fear. And the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. But it's fear. You know why it's fear? Because this understanding of what happens after you die. We know we messed up so much, so we fear we're going to go to this imaginary hell with fire and brimstone, being poked by a bunch of demons like in the cartoons, because the Christian church taught us that. The Christian church taught us that nonsense. And since the Christian church taught us that nonsense, we're scared to give up our life for what's right. But let me tell you something. Our life does not belong to us anyway. And when you have the true understanding of what happens after death, you won't be scared to give up your life. You know you're going to be back. You know what I'm saying? We understand heavier topics than the milk I'm trying to bring out today. That's why we have classes. But there's things that will take that fear of dying out of you once you start following the law, statutes, and commandments. You're scared to die because you know you're not following God's law. And you're thinking you're going to be in some imaginary hell. So you definitely ain't giving up your life for your brother. You only got one life in your head. Let me tell you something, you don't. You've been here many a times. There's nothing new under the sun, and that includes your spirit, that includes your soul. There's nothing new. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. What has Christ commanded them to do? Christ commanded them to love one another. That's how you know you're Christ's friends. Like every Christian like to say they love Christ, they have a personal relationship with, and they don't love Christ because they don't even love. I mean, how much rumors and backbiting is going on in the Christian church? How much? You know what I'm saying? Sister Lorraine put her whole heart into some potato salad, and Sister LaQuisha, the mother of the church, is going to talk all types of trash about it because they know that the pastor's sleeping with both each other. So they ain't gonna. All they're gonna do is hate each other. They're not gonna love each other. Sister Lucretia is not going to tell Sister Lorraine how to make potato salad correct. You don't put grapes in the potato salad. Leave that to the Karens. That's what true love is. Sisters, teach each other. You know what I'm saying? Get up with each other. You know what I'm saying? Share recipes. Especially if you got the same man as a husband, man. Definitely share recipes. Because he gonna like his food one way. And there's like 2, 3, 4, 5 of y'all, whatever. He gonna like your food one way. Share recipes. Let's get that recipe right so we all got it. We all got it on deck. We all know how to do it. Khan says, you know, Lucretia been watching Food Network, and some Food Network dude or some Food Network person put grapes in the potato salad. It's madness. But that's what you do. You look out for each other. You teach each other how to take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do in here in the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? I know if I slip up in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have 3 brothers in my inboxes like, yo, bro, what you doing? Don't be doing that. Take that down. You know what I'm saying? If I put up any resistance, it's going to be a council. Then I'm going to be sitting in front of a captain. If I'm not sitting in front of a captain, after that, I'm going to be sitting in front of generals. After that, I'm going to be sitting in front of the whole nation. And guess what? If I still want to buck up, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. Hey, it says teamwork make the dream work, man. That's for sure. Teamwork make the dream work. But let's drop that. Let's get did I read 14? Yeah, I sure did read 14. Let's get Matthew 18. Salaki, I'm a slow typer. Alright, if you're there, let me know that you're there. Actually, you don't have to let me know. I'm just going to give you, oh, she put in there kind. Alright, Most High in Christ. Alright, Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me? Now, Peter had a question for Christ. This is the love that Christ was showing him. You know what I'm saying? Teaching him, guiding him, counseling him. Now, Peter had a question. How often should I forgive my brother that, you know what I'm saying, trespassed against me? How often should I do that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With 2, 3, 4, 5 times before I get upset and punch him in the head, what should I do? You know what I'm saying? And this is what Christ, let me continue. No, let me start from the top again. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Like 7 times. That sounds actually generous. You know what I'm saying? You give a brother 7 chances. This sounds generous. You know what I'm saying? He keep on robbing you. You forgive him. Rob you again. You forgive him. Rob you again. You forgive him. Rob you again. You forgive him. He punches you in the face. You forgive him. 7 times does sound generous. But let me tell you what Christ said. Yahweh saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times. So no, not 7 times, no. Christ's like, nah, 7 times, nah, not 7. But until 70 times 7. So until 70 times 7. That's how many times you forgive your brother in a day. But guess what? I got news for you. You could do the math on 70 times 7 all you want. I'm pretty sure it's like 144 million. I don't know. It's a big number, right? Guess what? It's impossible to offend somebody that many times in a day. So that number, the most, Yahweh throwing out 70 times 7, guess what? It's a figurative number. He is saying right here is always forgive your brother. Always forgive him. No man can offend somebody that many times in a day. Always forgive your brother. There's nothing, there's no cause that bad that you cannot forgive him. You know the hell he's going through. You know what world we're in today. You know the madness. Show him some love. Teach him, guide him, counsel him. Drag him to the ISUPK classes. Do whatever you got to do. But definitely don't stop forgiving them. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. That's how you know that you're in the kingdom of heaven. That's why the kingdom of heaven is likened to a certain king. There's forgiveness in that. There's mad forgiveness, taking care of one another. You know what I'm saying? There's forgiveness in that. But I went too far. That's going on with a whole nother subject. But there's no amount of time that you can stop forgiving your brothers and sisters. Always forgive them. Always forgive them. Point blank, period. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult at all. You know what I'm saying? You want to be forgiven when you do wrong, right? When you know deep inside you did wrong, you want to be forgiven. I want to tell you a story, man. I was a kid that did all types of dirt, and I was never forgiven for the dirt I did as a kid by my parents or nobody. You know why? Because when dirt happened that I didn't do, guess who they blame? They still blame me. They still blame me for the stuff I didn't even do. That's why I know I don't want. That's why I know I want to forgive. Because I don't want people feeling that pain of being unbelieved or being worthless or whatever else they're going to believe. You know what I'm saying? I want to be believed, period. I won't lie to my brothers. I learned that lesson because when I did lie and I did all the dirt and stuff that I used to do in the world, my parents, nobody believed me. They didn't give the things I did in the past, so they ain't going to forgive me now. They ain't going to be like, oh, he might be telling the truth. They ain't going to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my fault. We're going to go to something else. Let's go to Mark 12 and 31. Let's go to Mark 12 and 31. If you're there. Hold on, I ain't even there yet. It's a lot here. I'm trying ahead of myself. I ain't even changed nothing. Mark 12 and 31. If you're there, read along with me, alright? I might want to start up a little ahead. Yeah, we're going to start a little bit ahead. Let's start at verse 28. Alright? Let's go to verse 28. Let me put that in here too. It's actually Mark 12 and 28 we start at. Mark chapter 12 verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? See, like this scribe, which is very rare, a scribe coming humbly and not trying to trip up Christ, is a rare occasion. It doesn't happen every day. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to read that constantly. But let's peep what Christ said. I'm going to start that. We'll read this question again. Which is the first commandment of all? And Yahushua answered them, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, which is a very important thing to understand. Our Lord is one. There's nobody above him. There's nobody near him. He controls all. Very important. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. And this is the first commandment. Like, understand that. Like we was bringing out earlier. How can you love God and hate your brother? Like, just hearing that, you got to know loving your people is involved in it. You can't love God and hate your people. You can't love God and hate your brother. It's impossible. It's not happening. It's completely impossible. You got to love God and your people at the same time, because one is the other. It's the same thing. But let's continue. Verse 31. And the second is like. Now, he gave him again. He just wanted to know the first one. Now he's giving him the second. He's giving him an extra one. He's giving him, giving him a little bonus. You know what I'm saying? He didn't ask for the second. He just asked for the first. But Christ is giving him a bonus. Now, why? Because he probably needed it. He probably didn't know it. He probably needed it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a scribe. Yeah, he definitely needed it. He definitely needed it. And the second is like, namely this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Who is thy neighbor? Your neighbor is only your people. And you can think about it however you would like. But your neighbor is only your people. You can go in history when nations actually divided. When around this time when this was written, there wasn't melting pots like that. Rome was trying to be a melting pot. Rome was trying, but every nation had its own. Even in this melting pot, there was still division. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. Those are the two greatest commandments right there. Love the Most High and love your brother and sister. And that's something in the black community that we are losing. That's why we are where we are today. That's why we are going through the hell we are today, because we don't love each other. If we loved each other, things would be a whole lot more simple. You know what I'm saying? There's no greater commandment than that. Period. Period. Loving God and loving your people, loving your brother, loving your neighbor, loving your nation. There's no two greater commandments than that. But let's continue. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Hebrews. Hebrews 13 and, what did I say, 1? Hebrews 13 and 1. Because as a nation, man, you see what's going on out there. You see what's going on. We got to fight each other and fight our enemy, which is a hard thing to do. Very hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? This weekend, over this holiday weekend, was bloody. It was a bloody weekend. You know what I'm saying? Since the abortion clinics are back open. You know what I'm saying? People rather side with our enemy. You know what I'm saying? Siding with these Karens. You know what I'm saying? Siding with the nation, talking about we shouldn't be talking about loving each other and thinking that we're superior. Well, guess what? Guess what, Mr. Cruz? The Most High said we're superior. God said we're superior. But you two still let Master know that we're superior. It's madness, baby. But Hebrews 13 and 1. This is one of my favorite. Literally, the first scripture is one of my favorite scriptures. Hebrews 13 and 1. Let brotherly love continue. There should be nothing that should break this apart. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing that's going to break this brotherhood in the ISUPK apart. Not a dollar, not a woman, not nothing. Nothing. Nothing's going to break this brotherhood apart. Period. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Let's get with it. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. Because you don't know, like, a lot of us in the black community, we see a brother that's down and out. We don't entertain that brother. We just walk right over him. We don't have a conversation with him. We don't do nothing. We just look at him like a bum. We look at him with disgust. And that brother that's down and out begging for a little change in front of that McDonald's, guess what? He might just be an angel. You don't know. He might be making a report about you to the Most High right now. You don't know. At least have a conversation with him. At least talk to him. See what his life like. That does a brother that's down and out that does something nice for his bones, man. That does something nice for his bones, man. I'm telling you. I used to be homeless. The conversation goes a long way. Because everybody looks down to you. Everybody looks down on you. Everybody looks down on you. And you have a brother or a sister just having a conversation with you. That is a dope thing. That is dope. That's about as dope as it gets. Nothing better. You doing that brother some good and you showing him some kindness, and that might get him out of the situation he in. That just might get him out of the situation he in. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. Verse 3. Remember them that are in bonds as bound with them. Look, you're going through the same thing. Look, Oprah don't remember those that are in bounds. She is not doing as bad as the rest of us is. Oprah's super rich. She thinks she's better than everybody. She don't understand this pain that we go through. You know what I'm saying? She forgot her past. She forgot her come up. You know what I'm saying? This is talk to those like Oprah. But let's get with it. Remember them that are in bonds, in bonds, as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity, as being yourselves also in the body. What you go through is what your people go through. Like, you are no better, no matter how rich you may be no matter how good you think your life is, you are no better than that man that's in front of McDonald's begging for change. You are not better than him. You know what I'm saying? You are nowhere near better than him. Let me tell you that off the rip. But that's the problem with us. We let our enemy dictate what's valuable. We let our enemy dictate what's good. We let our enemy dictate what's supposed to be. And let me tell you something. That's not true. That's not the way we're supposed to be thinking. Our enemy don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all. But let's get with it. Suffer adversity as being yourselves also in the body. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers and God will judge. Like, there is a big rift between the black woman and the black man. You see it on social media all the time. It's like a competition. And everybody think it's funny. And we forgetting that it's honorable to love one another. It's honorable to take care of one another. We forget those type of things. You know what I'm saying? And we start partaking in things that we should not be partaking in. We start doing things that we should not be doing. We start breaking the Most High's laws because we're too emotional or too undisciplined to work through things. You know what I'm saying? So when we get like that, the Most High would judge us. The Most High would judge those who are not loving each other properly. Most High is going to judge all drug dealers and all drug users. So when they get hit by a bus randomly, that's the Most High's judgment. It has nothing to do with their sin, the way He wanted to take them out, make an example of them. Or they could get cancer, emphysema, whatever else, who knows? The way God kills you for sinning has nothing to do with what you want. Nothing. Nothing at all. You may think because, you know what I'm saying, her man's a punk or whatever, so you can sleep with her whenever. You ain't got nothing to worry about. He ain't going to kill you. Well, guess what? It ain't him that's going to kill you. It's the Most High. However He does it is how He decides to do it. You may think because you're sleeping with a white woman that you're A-okay. That's not true either. That's why these white women are calling rape like crazy on black men till this day. That's why so many people, what's that brother's name? Like Dr. Dre. He was a billionaire, but he's now currently worth $800 million. Married a white woman. Now he's about to lose all that. What reason? Who knows? If he wasn't with her in the first place, he'd probably be alright. He'd probably be A-okay. But for the simple fact that he loves these heathens, love our enemy, well, guess what happens? Guess what happens? Now he half of his earnings is gone. I ain't see her name on none of those credits. None of them. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. Let's continue. Let's continue a bit. You know what I'm saying? Let your conversation be without covetousness. You know what I'm saying? Watch your mouth when you speak to each other. You know what I'm saying? Be careful how you talk to one another. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. And be content with such things as ye have. Don't be trying to, like, you see a brother with a dope car or whatever, don't be trying to want what he has. Don't be letting your lust and desires know, because know what you're going to end up doing? Know what you're going to end up doing? you are going to end up trying to kill that brother for the things he has. You're going to end up back talking him for the things he has. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. What y'all two talking about?
Mayonnaise.
What?
The mayonnaise is thrown out.
Thrown out? It's gone. It was empty. The other mustard better. But alright. That's what it boils down to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your mouth. You can't be lusting after what another black man has. Because you're gonna end up starting to hate one another. You're gonna end up starting trying to kill one another. What you think's going on in the world right now? Why you think they're always trying to, all the shootouts and stuff's going on? Because it's covetousness. You know what I'm saying? You see a brother pull up in a fly ride and you talking trash about him because he got a fly ride. That's what cowards do. That's what weak people do. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. For he have said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. You know what I'm saying? So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper. Let's drop down to verse 9. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines. Don't be carried about with diverse and strange doctrine. You know what a diverse and strange doctrine is? Anything that goes against these law, statutes, commandments. Christianity is a strange and diverse doctrine. Islam is a strange and diverse doctrine. The American way is a strange and diverse doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Homosexuality is a strange and diverse doctrine. Because none of it is going to solve black and Hispanic issues. None of it. It all is filled with hatred. None of it is filled with love. It's all filled with covetousness. It's all filled with lies. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with meats, which have not profited them that have been occupied therein. Like, don't get caught up in the BS, man. Don't get caught up in the BS. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a whole bunch of things that's down to trip you up in this world, man. Whole bunch of things that's going to get you messed up in this world. You know what I'm saying? How much time I got left? Okay, I got about a good 20 minutes. Hold on, I want to get another one. Hold on, let me cut that short. If you got any questions, type them on there. Let's go to 1 Peter. We're in 1 Peter 2 and 17. Where you going?
Are you talking about?
Where?
Strong.
Alright. 1 Peter 2 and 17. Alright, if you dare follow along with me. Honor all men. What does it mean to honor all men? Does that mean be a man pleaser? Does that mean, you know what I'm saying, just, I don't know how to put it, but it definitely does not mean being a man pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Honoring all men. What it means is giving every man their just due. Giving every man their proper respect. You know what I'm saying? Honor all men. You know what I'm saying? Love the brotherhood. How do you love the brotherhood? By not breaking any law, statutes, and commandments, by not trying to offend each other, taking care of each other. The brotherhood is easily offended, especially by the weak. You know what I'm saying? The brotherhood is easily offended, but love the brotherhood, and that's what we're missing in this community. That's why we will never expand past where we are right now, because we don't love each other. and we are not taking care of each other. You know what I'm saying? Fear God, honor the king. We know to fear the Most High. That's the beginning of all wisdom. Fearing the Most High is literally the beginning of all wisdom. If you don't fear the Most High, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be a wise person. You know what I'm saying? You will not honor the king. You will not honor your brother if you don't fear God. Christian church don't fear God. They say it all the time. The only thing I fear is God. That's not true. Y'all don't fear God. Y'all fear men more than y'all fear God. Christian church don't fear God. Islam don't fear God. Nobody fears God but us in the ISUPK. Because we know breaking his laws equals death. That's fearing God. You know what I'm saying? So love the brotherhood. Never forget that brotherhood. Fear God. Honor the king. Who's the king? Who's the king? The king is Yahushua. Honor him. See, a lot of these Old Testament Israelites will not honor him, so they're going to have a problem on their hands when things come to an end. They're going to have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't honor Yahushua. And that causes a whole bunch of other madness and confusion I'm not going to get into right now, but let's get with it. Shall I go further? No, I'm just going to stick there. Now I want to stick there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with Psalms 133. I believe. Yeah, we're going to dip into the Old Testament real quick. Psalms 133:1. Give y'all a couple seconds to get there. Something that us as Black Hispanics and Native people don't quite fully understand, but we do. We understand their scripture more than we believe. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure y'all there by now. Psalms 133 verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. What does that mean? What does that mean? Let me tell you what it means. When you go to a ISUPK Passover, you fully understand what that means. When you go to a ISUPK cookout, you understand what that means. When you see a bunch of Black and Hispanic and Native people in one area, no violence, not even an argument, all amongst each other in unity. It's pleasant, it's pleasing. But deep down inside, we know when we are around our enemies, like we go to, I'm pretty sure you probably went to a club or a bar, and it's filled with our enemies, it's filled with Caucasians, and it's a little uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. It's not the most pleasant thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though they trying to be friendly, but you can't trust them. They're going to probably have you drunk all underneath the table. You know what I'm saying? Throwing up in the morning and everything else. You know how they do. They're going to have you all messed up in the game trusting them. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Let's drop that. Let's get to 1 John 2:9.
Do you want mustard? Huh?
Alright, let's go back to the New Testament. Let's go to 1 John 2:9. I'll give y'all a couple of seconds to catch up, to get there. See if y'all there. Alright. If you're there, read along with me. 1 John chapter 2, verse 9. He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now. What is the light? What is the light? How would you define the light in today, in our current linguistics, our current lingo, our current vernacular, our current way of speaking? How would you say the light?
Sorry, Buddha.
We don't say the light nowadays. We don't say the light. Khan says the truth. So how are you in the truth if you're hating your brother? That's why we say we are the home of the truth, because we are the only ones that love our brothers. We're the only ones that don't have tit for tats and all this and all that. You want me to explain? I see videos online when brothers in the same body, so-called, fighting each other, arguing with each other. I see those things. I see them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all arguing and fighting with each other over some BS, over some small business. But over here, we don't do that. We don't do that. That's why we're the home of the truth. We love each other. We literally have issues if we are without each other for a certain amount of time. We get a little more aggressive, a little more angry at life and stuff if we're not around each other for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Because we enjoy each other's company. You know what I'm saying? That's why Isupk, home of the truth. Christian church don't do that. The Muslim mosques don't do that. They don't have that feel. You know what I'm saying? That's something you definitely got to be in to fully understand. You definitely got to be in here to fully understand that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But hold on. We're going to get one more scripture real quick. Luke 11 and 17. Because this is currently our problem. I'll let y'all get there. I'll give y'all a couple more seconds to get there. All right. Luke chapter 11, verse 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. This is something that y'all must understand. This is a twofold thing. There's lessons to be learned in the scripture. There's prophecy in the scripture and a lesson at the same time. A house divided cannot stand. Israel was divided, northern kingdom, southern kingdom. Well, what happened? We fell. We fell. Nowadays, we're divided in a whole bunch of ways. Heterosexual, homosexual, Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, Nieta, you know what I'm saying? We're divided in 1,000,001 ways. There's no unity amongst us. Male, female, there's no unity. And that's why we're still at the bottom. Because we can't come together and love each other like it says in Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather yourself together, O nation not desire. It's not a hard thing to do. We're doing it in the ISUPK. Join the ISUPK if you want to take the easy route. It's the only route, actually. Because if you start your own thing, guess what? We're still divided. Even if you're starting your own thing, yeah, I know the truth. Well, guess what? No, you don't. The truth is not knowing that you're an Israelite. The truth is not knowing that you're an Israelite. The truth is this brotherhood. The truth is loving each other. That's what the truth is. It's not your nat. We were never supposed to lose that. You know what I'm saying? We was never supposed to lose that. If the truth is knowing that you're an Israelite, guess what? The Pharisees knew they were Israelites. Sadducees knew they were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? You can know you're an Israelite and still be a wicked person. You can't be in the truth and be wicked at the same time. So there's more to being in the truth than knowing you're Israelite. Being in the truth is loving one another. Being in the truth is following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? But I digressed a bit, but let me continue. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Well, we see that going on now. This is the prophecy side of it. How is America going to stand? America divided against itself. Satan is divided against itself. You got liberals and conservatives. You got Republicans, Democrats. You got left wing, white wing. You got white supremacists, and you got white people who seem to support Black Lives Matter for some reason. It confuses me, but I know why they're doing it. They're trying to sucker us into another move. I understand. But this nation is soon to fall. So we should gather ourselves together and start loving one another, start solving all these problems that we have amongst our own people, getting off drugs, all this promiscuity, all this violence, all this hatred that we have for one another. We can solve that by just following these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Is there more? Let me get more. Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. A devil can't cast out a devil. It doesn't make sense. You can't cast out a devil. A devil can't cast out a devil. Wickedness cannot solve wickedness. Only righteousness can solve wickedness. And righteousness is only found in the Isupk under command and general Yohana. You know what I'm saying? It's the only place shalom, sis, shalom. Only place you can find righteousness is in the Isupk. And with that, I'm going to end the class. You know what I'm saying? With the closing announcements. We are the Isupk, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher, head of the school, will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which could be found in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Tithes is a commandment, ma'ashra, which means a tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or the head of the school, the teacher. Priest funds, which is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. It's not mandatory, but it will be highly appreciated. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. I'll get with y'all with that soon. Announce if you want to be a trooper in the school, getting on black shirt, black pants, black headpiece.
Libbity bibbity.
Cut.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you line.
Need.